The Mortal Coil. We, humans, and all living creatures, are mortal. There will be a time when we aren't. And there was a time that we weren't. Millions of years passed without me to know that they were. And when this journey is done, trillions upon trillions of years will pass without me to be aware. The idea that the thing that we know most intimately, consciousness, the self, I, that would cease to be, it's unthinkable. How could it be that the universe could possibly go on without me? How can I continue knowing that one day I won't be? Is it really that way? Can I know? Can anyone know? Is it in the end a belief? A belief in what? In nothing? Many have a belief in a thing after life, the afterlife. This life is what? Just a practice run. Get it right the next time around. What next time? Well, you get to be recycled. You're not going to be aware of it, but the essence of you gets to be recycled. What's the point of that? That's just how it works. And eventually, you'll accept the great whole and you'll return to the great whole and experience the bliss of that, of the nothingness of nirvana. No. Actually, you'll come back with a completely new body and new name in a perfect body that won't fail, with a name given to you by the creator of all things. No. Actually, if you did the work that you needed to do and you made the right sacrifices, you will be exalted to a god of your own planet, given dominion over how it works and why, allowed to create whatever you want. No, actually, if you believed in certain things in the right way, then you'll be rewarded in a paradise where you have to worship this being forever and all time. But nonetheless, it's better than the alternative, which is suffering. Actually, you're but one drop in the ocean, and we'll all join together in one giant consciousness. No, actually, that's not it at all. It's something far grander than any of this. It's beyond comprehension what will happen after this mortal coil. And all of this is because we can't see beyond this. This is where we are. This is what we know, and this reality is testable, tangible, knowable, studyable. But what about this? This is different, right? This thing called the mind, a consciousness, the me. We don't know everything that there is to know. Maybe the quantum, yes, the quantum will, or the multiverse, the infinite me possibility, all the different choices that are available. I've actually done them, and I'll become aware of that, or well, who knows? That unknown leads to a belief. Always a belief. Never a certainty, even though we might feel pretty darn sure of it. Well, when consciousness ends, then you end, right? When your brain isn't, you aren't. So then there is no you, because there wasn't a you before. At least not one that you were aware of, so if there was one, then it just doesn't count. And then the you that won't be there to even know. So you won't know that you're gone. What's that like? That unknowing fear drives many towards belief. The mortal coil. Why are we saddled with the terrible, horrible knowledge that we are mortal? Even that leads many to belief. Other animals, are they aware that they are mortal? Well, they sure act like it. They certainly avoid death, for the most part. Try to smack a fly out of the air, you'll see how quickly it moves. The fly doesn't want to die, but also it's not really aware that it's dying or going to be killed, is it? At least not in the way that you and I are, but from a fly's perspective, does that even matter? Why wasn't I born as a cat instead of a human? What would have that been like? What is it like to be a cat? Or a tree? Or a lobster? Why couldn't I be that instead of a human? Well, because I wasn't born as that. But why not? Why is my conscious here instead of somewhere else? Or why is there a me rather than no me? Why is there a there instead of nowhere? And these sort of questions cannot be answered, can they? As we think about and dwell on this mortal coil, as we do when somebody exits it, we reflect upon our own mortality. We have to. We have no choice. We know somebody that walked off of the mortal coil, passed on, passed away, is resting. Rest in peace. Resting as if they're asleep. But sleep you wake from. Death, as far as we know, you don't recover from. It's not a side effect, it is the effect, it is the thing, it's the end. Or is it? Is there some secular way to avoid that is coherent, that's logical, that's valid, that's scientific? Or is it all just wishful thinking? Well, we could put my brain inside of something else, keep it alive for longer than my body could, if we only had that technology. But eventually the brain would run out of oomph, wouldn't it? Unless we can alter DNA to make it perfectly copy itself every time, and seems like we're on the cusp of being able to do that, but whether or not that technology will reach me in time, who knows? And whether or not it would be applied to lowly me, I have no idea. And no control over any of it anyways, and do I really want to exist forever? And even if I manage to pull it off, eventually the sun goes supernova anyways, and that seems to be the end of Earth. Well, maybe we've seeded other planets. Sure, we can avoid it for a while, but ultimately and inevitably, even the universe itself runs out of oomph. Then what? Well, maybe by then we'll have figured out a new power source, a way to draw power from the black holes that are collapsing even now and will soon not exist. No, maybe we can draw power from something, anything, to keep going just a little bit longer. And maybe we exhaust every possibility until life itself and all the particles and all of existence just stop. And then you have a universe of space. There's still something. There's always something. Constant radiation background. And even the edges of the universe emit this radiation and so make another universe? Or make the same one again? And then it all starts over? Is that scientific? Or is that sci-fi? Is that just wishful thinking? And will I even be aware of any of it? Because in the end, it's about me, damn it, and my mortality. But more so, it's about that person or that creature that I knew, even a little, the knowledge that they are gone. Whether they're gone out there or gone, just gone. Now what? How do I move forward on this mortal coil? I don't have those answers. And perhaps nobody does, but people like to pretend that they do. And in my view, we should be skeptical of those who pretend to have the answers until we actually have the evidence that those answers are indeed the answers at all. But such is the mortal coil. We'll keep trying to figure it out until the end. And if there is more, well, that will be interesting. And if there isn't, then we won't know. That kind of sucks too. No matter what, it's out of my control. We gotta do something. Do something! But I don't know what. And whatever it is not a thing that I can do. So what am I supposed to do? Well, I can complain about it. For whatever good that might do. This is the mortal coil. And we're all on it. Together until we're not. But those that are left on that coil must keep holding each other till there's no more coil.